So you were referred for an ulnar gutter splint. So why were you referred for an ulnar gutter splint? So it's a right ring finger. There is an ORAF. So an ORAF here to the right middle, to the ring finger middle. Digital nerve repair. Digital nerve. So the flexor pollicis, the flexor digitorum profundus, so repair here. So it's a repair to the profundus. So it might have been lacerated right here in that middle because it was a middle phalanx fracture. A digital nerve repair, an FDP repair, a volar plate repair, as well as a DIP. So probably the volar plate, I would assume, is happening here at the DIP, most likely, versus at the PIP. Just because if there was a volar plate repair at the PIP, I would imagine the superficialis having been injured too. So it sounds like there was a crush injury right here at the ring finger. So this person fracture was a middle phalanx fracture, which is intra-articular to the DIP, resulting in subluxation, which is why the DIP was pinned. Great. So I was thinking of just making an ulnar gutter as suggested and do a forearm base due to a tendon repair. So this is really tricky because you're pinning so much down, right? Because you're pinning so much down that, and there's a pinning at the DIP. So that pretty much tells me that you don't need to make a long forearm base one. If anything, if there wasn't a profundus injury, you would really just need to splint the ring finger. Like you're literally making a canoe for the finger. Now, usually with a digital nerve repair, you would want that PIP at like a 20-degree flexion position. If there was no nerve tension, you can make it straight. But usually in the finger, and especially with this severity, I'd put that PIP in a little bit of a flexion position, and that splint will cover the DIP, and it would go to zero. You don't have to worry about the MP and the wrist, and you don't have to worry about the profundus, only because the DIP is pinned, so that profundus repair isn't going to go anywhere. Normally, we stop all the flexor pollicis. Why do I keep saying pollicis? We stop all the flexor digitorum profundus from moving through the wrist and stuff like that. But that's because the DIP is able to make a fist and move. In this case, when you have a fracture with the tendon problem, because you have to stabilize for the fracture, the tendon can't go anywhere. Let me know if that makes sense. So you can either make an ulnar gutter brace as prescribed. You would stop at the hand base and you would position the MP in 60 degrees and then all these here at 0, or the PIP at a slight flexion, and you include the ring finger and the small finger, or you could just make a finger splint, right? So I would just go with to be on the safe side. If they're asking for an ulnar gutter, I would go ahead and just do the ulnar gutter. Again, I would go with the ulnar gutter just to be on the safe side, and also using the ring finger to help protect. Using the small finger to help the ring finger protect itself, and then make it only hand-based. Don't cover the wrist because you don't need to. All right, let me know if that helps, especially because of the severity and stuff like that. Let me know if that helps. But you're allowed to move the small finger, the ring finger, and all that good stuff, and you're allowed to go into MP flexion extension because that PIP and that DIP probably isn't going anywhere for like a hot minute. All right.